Hey guys, it's been a while, but this video is on hamstring strengthening exercises part 2. The first one I did was focused on stretching and rolling out your hamstring. This one is on strengthening it. As you can tell, the first one I'm doing is a physio ball glute bridge. It's really good for the hamstrings. You have to lose a lot of strength to bring the ball close up to you. As you can tell, I'm keeping my torso straight and bringing my legs up. Definitely use a lot of strength, and it's going to strengthen your hamstring out. Then I'll move on to just regular squats with no weight. These are really good just in general. To be honest, I do these for warm-ups before I go on a run or before I start lifting or before I do any workout, to be honest. But it's also very good to strengthen your hamstring. I know I'm not going all the way down. That's definitely a flaw in this workout I have. So make sure you go lower than I'm going. Sometimes I do, but yeah, that one's good. So then it goes to glute bridges, which is easier than the physio ball glute bridge, but it's the same concept, just to strengthen your hamstring out, and it's really good. It's actually another workout I would just do just in general because you get a pretty good workout, and those hamstrings are definitely working. As you can tell, make sure you bring your torso all the way up. I try to hold it for like 2 seconds. You can even do like 10-second hold, but for the purpose of this one, I just did about 2 seconds is good enough, and do about 10 of those. Definitely very good to strengthen your hamstring. Even if it's not injured, you can definitely do this instead of using weights to strengthen your hamstring. And then we move on to the single leg deadlifts, or I believe that's what these are called. These are very good as well. Want to keep my leg a little straighter. My leg that's going up probably a little straighter, but that's fine. The most important thing is the leg that's on the floor. Just use some weights. I try to use like I think that's an 8-pound dumbbell. You can use a 10-pound, 15-pound. I went light obviously because I was still healing my hamstring. And I would say with anything when you're recovering from an injury, definitely take it slow. No need to show off. No need to try to impress yourself. If you have to just do it with no weights and just do the single leg deadlifts with no weights, that's totally fine as well. The main goal here is to keep strengthening the hamstring and just testing it out, seeing how it feels, and it's better to go light than to do too much. So finally, once it started to get stronger, I decided to test it out even more, doing some step-ups. Obviously, you can tell this is a pretty high box, or whatever you would call it. So I'm just stepping up, bringing one leg up, and then doing like a kind of a running motion, just to test out the hamstring, seeing if it's strong enough to do some more dynamic movements. And definitely test it out. I mean, if you're feeling like it's getting stronger, I want to say test it out, like to injure it, but see how it's feeling. Don't just sit on it and not do anything. Just keep seeing like what can you do today, what can you do next week, what can you do next month. Don't just try to rest and think that it's gonna heal by itself, which it can, but you can definitely step the process up and speed it up. So next, I definitely felt like I was getting stronger, so I was like, let me try some box jumps. Tried some single leg box jump to test the injured hamstring, but I did it on both sides, so I was alternating just to see again if I can do any explosive movements. After doing these videos were not made out in the same time. It's just over time I made sure to keep progressing, and as you can tell, this was the last one I did, and I was like, I'm feeling pretty strong about it. So here it is, how to strengthen your hamstring.